Welcome back to another quick episode of Spaceman 2.0. We're here to point out the happenings of the solar eclipse coming over the United States, forming an X. And this entire world is predicated on an X. With Cain's first mark was an X. And God said this bloodline shall be separated from the rest and known as a serpent bloodline. And the serpent race has taken over, and X marks the spot where they're going to take over the human race through the solar eclipse, bringing in their new world order antichrist. So, with that being said, 1982, who was born on a solar eclipse? I'll leave that up to you to figure that out. Who's going to be the next antichrist? But maybe his brother will be. Who knows? I'll leave that up to you to figure that out. You got to grow up, wake up, and live. This is Spaceman 2.0. And with the solar eclipse happening and NASA firing up into the space into so-called towards the sun with the Apophis missiles, which means the devil back in the Egyptian times. So wherever Egypt is, the X marks the spot. And you know what? Little Egypt is where it goes over. 2017, it came over one side. In 2024, it's coming over the other, marking an X right over Little Egypt. What happens in Egypt happens everywhere around the world. In 2015, what happened? They took over all these spots. They call it the Arab Spring. Really to take out the history of Carthage, where there was blood sacrifice of children. And who was in control of that? Well, you must do your history research and figure that out. I can't tell you everything. You got to figure out the truth for yourself. Who is in charge of Carthage and blood sacrifice and Moloch worship? Huh? Who is in charge of Moloch worship and Baal, cannibal, Cain? Cain's mark is an X. Now, when you pan out from that, they want to take over the entire planet through a communist Bolshevik revolution, destroying all Christian principles upon the planet, which is family unit, love, peace, prosperity, property, inheritance. They want to destroy that all and get you to give it up for being. Just for being different than the nephilim, the half-breed, the hybrid. The half-god, half-man came from heaven fallen down. The fallen angels were told not to mate with the daughters of men. But they did. Anunaki did. And now they want to destroy the world. And when the X comes over Little Egypt in the United States, what happens in Egypt happens to the rest of the world. So with that being said, boys and girls, may you wake up and live. NASA's firing 2 rockets. Cern is going to start up to make a portal open to demons. They're starting to talk about on the news and in psychological aspects that demonology or being able to see demons is a symptom of some sort of psychosis or some shit like that. But people, sorry for saying the S word in front of your children, but people, wake up. If you're seeing anything with your third eye open, you might be seeing as they live with Roddy Piper, and you put on the sunglasses and you can see the truth, obey and everything, the subconscious programming behind everything, and then you see the people's true identity. The serpent race is alive and well on planet Earth, and they're trying to take us over. So with that being said, don't fall for the Russian war against Ukraine and the they're definitely bulldozing everything in Palestine. They've been doing it since 1898, 125-year anniversary right now of the takeover of Palestine for the Zionist Communist Bolshevik Revolution. Their agenda is to take over the entire planet. May you wake up and live, people. Please wake up and live. What did they do to Iran just recently? Israel bombed Iran. They're bombing Lebanon, they're bombing Syria, all in the guise of taking out Hamas, which was created by, in 2015, Al Qaeda was created to fight the whatever, the Afghanistan's, this, that, blah, blah. Al Qaeda is the northern and the southern tribe in Israel. It's all the same stuff. They use the same names. So, the Khazarian barbarians never change their spots. They're always the same. They're trying to take over the rest of the world. They came from the Black Sea to the Caspian Sea, up here in the Caucasus Mountains, in the Khazarian homeland with Genghis Khan, overcame Kazakhstan and tried to get into China, Mongolia. And you know what? China said, I'm not going to have any of you barbarians come into me. We're going to knock you out. And they basically had to come into another religion. And who do they choose to amalgamate with? Well, you figure it out. Who's the greatest trade route, barbarian, Khazarian dictators of the world? They want to control all trade routes. That's why they're taking out Palestine to create a nice little, not through the Red Sea, but through the Persian Gulf, and a nice little canal that goes straight through parts of Palestine into the Mediterranean for a new canal system for supply chain. That's why they're messing up the supply chain in Baltimore. You think that wasn't Mossad? Come on. Mossad's written all over it. It's a false flag, terror attack. Wake up and live, people. This is Spaceman 2.0. And